Hi, I'm Lindsay, and here on the Plant Plan, we are focusing on building muscle for health and longevity, and a little bit of aesthetics. If you notice, my shoulder game is strong today. Today, what we're working on is prepping for the week. As always, my criteria is having a good calorie balance, right? To make sure that I'm fueling my activity, but not fueling too much weight gain, right? So that means that I want to make sure that each meal has a good amount of protein. I work around 35 grams of protein in to each meal. So we're going to do that. Another thing I'm working on is spending less money. I have some savings goals that I'm working on, and also it's just not a spending economy, right? And things are getting tight, and there's a lot of corporations that we don't really want to be giving more money to. So what I'm doing here is something that I always, even from my very first meal plan or meal prep video, I shop what I have first. Shop your kitchen, shop your fridge, shop your freezer, shop the back of your freezer. Don't just open it and then, oh, what do I have here? No, go to the back of your fridge, see what's still in there. And my cabinets here, my pantry. And so that's what I'm doing first, right? I'm not even out the house yet. I've put everything that I want to use, everything that I found that I'm like, oh, I forgot I still had that. I'm putting that out, mostly for the purposes of this video. I'm not saying to, throw your entire fridge onto the table first, but if that's part of your process and if that's going to help you actually see what you already have and start making meals around that first, then go ahead and do that. But here, I have this here just to be able to show you, and also to work through, okay, what do I really need? What do I really want? So let's do that. Now, I already know what I want for breakfast. Pro tip: don't try to have a whole bunch of different meals every day. I love having variety, and variety is good to a certain extent. But if you have some body composition goals, it makes sense to not make it harder to achieve that, right? And one of the things that makes it harder is trying to chase recipes and chase flavor and chase a different unique experience every time you sit down to eat. That is going to give you a lot of decision fatigue. That's going to make it harder to be in a calorie deficit, right? Because you're training yourself to just want something new and delicious and wonderful every single time you sit down to eat. I'm not saying your meals all have to be boring and bland and chicken and broccoli, and rice type of thing. Okay. In fact, please don't. That's really sad and boring. But it doesn't have to be a gourmet Michelin star meal every single time you sit down, right? It also doesn't have to be something different every time. Granted, I'm saying that, and I like maybe 3 different styles of breakfast every day, 3 different meals that I jazz up in different ways. So, possibly take that with a grain of salt. But that's helping me in the sense that I already know every week, okay, I'm going to have either this or that, and I'm going to jazz that thing up in a different way. So this week, I'm going to have breakfast burritos, and this is how I'm going to make them this time. You'll notice that they're a little bit different every time. Now, I just mentioned the economy and things are expensive, but this is the one thing that I bought that I still had in my fridge. I bought this maybe on Wednesday or something, knowing that next week I would want to have this. So this is what I have here. This 1 carton has 50 grams of protein. Actually, let's start doing some math here. Okay, so I'm putting in, I got my little trusty kitchen calculator here. There's nothing special about it. It just happens to be in my kitchen. PJ's with super firm tofu. This has 14 grams of protein and about 5 servings in there. So that's 70. Trader Joe's beefless crumbles, that has 9 grams of protein, plus the 50 plus the 70. Okay, so that's 174 grams of protein between these three items. Okay, divided by, let's say divided by 5. Okay, that gives us around 34.8 grams of protein. So I'm already set as far as how much protein I have if I cook all of these things together and then divide it by 5. That's the kind of quick math you want to do to make sure that you have however much protein you need throughout the day to build up to whatever your protein goal is. I also have some of this left over from previous weeks, a sofrito blend. It's just frozen peppers and onions that have been diced. This is such a quick little hack. Yes, the flavor is a little bit different. Yes, the texture ends up a little bit different, but guess what? It's still veggies. You're adding veggies and you're adding some texture, and it's delicious. I don't need more veg because I will have veg throughout the day. Tentative plan. Okay, but you see what I'm doing here. I'm building up ideas. Okay, so I also I cooked these little potatoes, and I still have these left over. What I did last time is I cooked the entire bag and just used what I needed each night because I had potatoes for dinner last week. So I still have all of these left over, and that's probably, I think that's gonna last me a whole other week for weekdays, right? It's not gonna be 7 days, probably like 4 or 5 days for sure. Okay, so I'll have that for dinner or lunch. That'll be a meal. I have this, I mean, it's really the last week that this will be okay. So maybe I'll make sandwiches at some, like a sandwich or two at some point, or maybe I'll saute this. So something that really works with iceberg lettuce is, I think most people, at least in the States, use it just for sandwiches and things like that, or salads perhaps, like to bulk up a salad. But you can saute this with a little bit of like garlic, maybe some soy sauce or something like that, you know, just very light, and it's actually really delicious. I went to a restaurant and they had that, and I saw it on the menu and I was like, who saute, like, how dare you? And then I tried it. I was like, oh, I'm ignorant. I am an ignorant American with no palate. And maybe I'll saute that and have that with the potatoes and other things. Let's see what else I have. I have these frozen potatoes. With frozen stuff, I mean, this, I just kind of want to get rid of this to make more room in my freezer, but it's fine. I can just wrap this up and put this back in there. But I put it out because I wanted to know that, okay, I have this. So if the rest of those potatoes will last 4 days, this is a meal. This is like one, you know, side for one meal, right? So this has potatoes and zucchini and mushrooms and green beans and onions, I think. What else does this have in it? And some herbs and spices and things like that. So this could be the side of one meal. Okay, so I'll put that on that pile as well. I know this is kind of all over the place, but you're seeing my process. Take what you need that might help you. I'm separating things out to say, okay, this is things that I'll use for one meal, that's stuff that I'll use for another meal, so I can see what's left and what kind of matches up with what might make a meal that I would want to have for the week. I also have bonza pasta. This can stay in the pantry for years, right? So I'm just taking this out because I noticed that I had this still in my refrigerator from who knows when. So this is a vegan red bell pepper pesto sauce type of situation. It has a little bit of tofu as well. This has 3.5 servings, or so it says. Okay, and this has, one carton of this has 4 servings. And then I will need an extra protein in this. So this has 11 grams of protein per serving if this is actually going to be 4 servings, right? So I need at the very least, like 20-ish grams of protein to add to that, right? So I have options. I was thinking maybe adding some of this to it, right? This is a textured pea protein. It works just like textured vegetable protein, except the macros are a little bit different. There's way less carbohydrates and way more protein in it. But textured vegetable protein would work just fine if you're trying to, if you're using this as an idea for yourself and you don't have access to this. This I got, full transparency, I got this on Amazon. This is my last month on my Amazon Prime membership. I'm getting rid of that for reasons, right? For reasons. So, but you know, I figured, okay, you know, I still have it. I've completely reduced what I bought. It's just the subscriptions that I've been like getting shipments like this to make it really easy. This site, I believe, this site, and there's another brand of textured pea protein because I'm preferring textured pea protein these days. Because the textured vegetable protein, textured vegetable protein is soy mostly, right? Or typically like 95% of the time it's going to be a soy protein. So I have tofu very often. I have things with soy in it. So I'm trying to diversify the types of proteins that I'm eating. Right? I mean, that is just the smartest thing to do. If you are eating animal products, a lot of animal products, all animal products have a amino acid profile that includes high amounts of all of the amino acids that are necessary, right, for building and maintaining muscle and all the other stuff that proteins do. Plant proteins, yes, they have all of the 9 essential amino acids, but in varying amounts. And so as a plant-based eater, you want to make sure that you have a diverse set of foods that you're eating so that you can pick up the deficiencies in one type of protein versus another. Now, things like soy, all 9 amino acids in the correct amount or in enough amounts, that's totally fine. But I don't want to just eat soy all day. Right? I am lucky, knock on wood. Is this veneer? I need something actual wood. Here we go. Knock on wood, thank goodness I don't have an allergy or intolerance or anything like that to soy or gluten, which is another great protein for us. But pea is one that is, ain't nobody got an allergy to that. And it's just a wonderful product. Like, look at these macros. You can't beat it. This video is so all over the place, but I might put this in with the pasta. That's not really a substantial meal. For me, it needs a little bit more, right? It needs some vegetables. It needs to have like added bulk and volume, right? So I will probably have that with either some green beans. Now, I love wholesale stores, especially for vegans. If you are vegan and you don't have a membership to a wholesale, listen, we eat a lot of vegetables, right? As everyone should. We eat a lot of vegetables, and most stores give you portions that are like this, which is ridiculous, right? You're gonna have to go to the store a million times. But at the prices that no ma'am, no ma'am. I'm gonna buy this that's gonna last me a month or two, and it has, what is this? 21 servings in it. That's plenty. You know what I mean? So this makes a lot of sense. And I think it's like $10 or something around there for this whole thing. Come on now. I have a whole bunch of broccoli. I had a 2-pound bag of broccoli, and I had plenty of broccoli throughout the week, but there's still like all of this left, which will last me a whole other week probably, right? So, but I must eat those now. So this, actually that makes more sense. The pasta with some broccoli, this red bell pepper and tofu pesto, and possibly even this. This is leftover frozen spinach. This is exactly how much I have left. It's already wilted, so I mean, you know, it's not going to be any less than this, but you know, spinach is like 2 bites and you're done with this, and it's I mean, this is garnish. This is garnish. Okay, so I still have the green beans. So I switched over to the broccoli with that meal. I have 2 servings of this Beyond Steak left. I love this product. I mean, consistently, this is something that I very often buy. The other Beyond products for me have a lot of fat in them. which is fine. Fat is fine, but they have a lot of like saturated fat. This is one of the best products as far as macros. This only has 1 gram of saturated fat per serving. And it's pretty low in carbohydrates relative to the amount of protein. So this, I think, is a good protein source, as opposed to something like this, right? So lentils are amazing. Lentils are wonderful. I will be using the rest of this. This is like all I have left from this huge I went to Whole Foods when they still had the bulk aisles, and I pressed the little thingy and so much came out of that thing. I was like, oh, okay. So this is all that's left from that. And that was like maybe a year ago or something. What I was saying here is that compared to this, these are 2 protein sources, right? Indisputable. They both have protein. This is a better protein source than this. By better, I'm talking about just the protein. I'm not saying that this is, you know, the healthiest item, whatever, right? Like we can stop that. Right? We can stop that, because when we're talking about healthy food, we're talking about the totality of your diet, right? So this, if you're looking to add protein, this is better to add to your meal than this. Fight me in the comments, please. Okay, now this is an amazing food. This is probably a better food, like healthier, whatever food than that, but that is a better protein source. Okay, I hope you're following what I'm saying. So in any case, I'm going to add lentils. Lentils have way more carbohydrates in them than protein. Great carbohydrates, so I will be using this. So this, I would say, is something that can boost the protein in your meal, but it shouldn't be the protein source in your meal, unless if the entire meal is lentils. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to edit that into a coherent segment of this video, but it's a rant, and there you go. So this I will have with, actually, you know what? That makes an amazing meal. I could have like a little bowl of lentils along with the Beyond Steak, right? Because this is what, 21 grams of protein per serving. Is probably 10 grams of protein, so that's around about where I'm trying to be. This is probably what, like 2 serving, but that can be at least 1 or 2 meals. I don't know if this is 4. This is like 3. So there's that, that I will be having along with this textured pea protein. Oh, let me move that over here so I can see what's going on. I also have nutritional yeast. I got a new shipment of this from Anthony's brand, I believe it is. And I put it in this jar. This is a jar from like an old sauerkraut that I got from the farmer's market, the Amish guy that's there, who I haven't seen in a long time. He's probably retired. That's why I haven't seen him. He's probably retired from all of the jars that I personally have bought off of that man, because they make the best sauerkraut. I'll probably use this with my pasta. That's all I wanted to say about this. Okay. All right. So we have several meals here for the week. Oh, I also have this. Listen, if there is one sponsorship that I want, I know there's literally like 4 of you watching, but eventually I will reach out to these people. Hi, give me some money. I mean, I've stopped looking, so there may be other brands that are good or whatever, but for the price, currently, okay, don't come at me if the price jumped randomly, okay, but for the price and the quality and the fact that I can put this in a jar, in just a random jar, this, ice and water, and shake it and get amazing consistency and 30 grams of protein per serving, take my money, but also like give me some, because you know it's 2025. That's what we're working with. So I need an extra protein to have with the potatoes. No, I don't. I have in my fridge a whole bunch more of these. I bought 4 because I'm tired of like walking in and out of Trader Joe's. So I just piled up in my little basket 4 of these. One of these I will use for the breakfast burritos. This guy right here. And then I have 4 more. So that's, no, sorry. I have 3 more. So that's 2, 4, 6. I have 6 servings. That's enough for dinner for a week. So I'll have that with the potatoes. When I run out of those potatoes, my next one will be with this. I may buy more of this. And I actually I don't have more lentils, but I have rice. So I'll have this with rice or lentils. I'll cook the rice and lentils together. I love where this is going. Have it with the Beyond Steak and the green beans. Tofu and potatoes for lunch or dinner. I have the pasta for lunch or dinner. I have the Beyond Steak. Y'all, I think I'm good. I think I only need 2 things at the grocery store. So this is the process that I go through. Obviously, it would have taken way less time if I wasn't talking to you, if I didn't like take my time out to put all this stuff. Although I may start doing it like this more often just to see physically what I have and move things around on the table. All right, I know what I'm doing. And now I can go out in the store, get in and out very quickly, using very minimal monies, and also get rid of stuff in my fridge, reducing food waste. And food waste is money waste. And I believe I've hit that 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. This is a success, y'all. Making sure that you have enough protein and enough calories, especially if you're trying to maintain, anything you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to maintain your weight, you want to preserve your muscle mass. And so that's what's going to help with the protein. And obviously you need enough calories to fuel the activity that you're doing throughout your day. If you're trying to gain muscle, obviously you want to have a good amount of protein, right? Because that's the building blocks for the muscle that you're creating. And you want to have a little bit more calories, not a whole lot. You don't need to be on these like old school bulking type diets where you're eating everything under the sun, but you want to have a little bit more so that you're building muscle and not that much fat, right? And if you are losing, you still want to have a good amount of protein, so that you are preserving your muscle, and the gap in how much calories you need to maintain your weight versus how much you want to lose, that gap is being filled by body mass that you have. So you're going to burn off the body mass that you have, but you don't want to burn off muscle, you want to burn off fat. So you want to be resistance training to maintain your muscle and build some if you can. And you want to be in a calorie deficit. All right, so that's all I wanted to do today. I wanted to show you my process of figuring out what my next week of meals is going to be. There are some weeks where I'm like, listen, we are going to be super on the money and do 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. And then there's other weeks where I'm like, let me just use up what I have and figure out how many meals I can stretch this out to. And that's what we've done here. We've figured it out. We've reached our protein goals. We're around about probably the calorie goals. We'll just kind of look at our plate as we're plating it and figure out if more or less is needed. And then we're gonna go from there. Okay, so finally, we're still working on our meal prep and putting things together. I'll show you what that looks like here. I don't know how big the photo will be, but it'll be over here. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing here, if you like what you're seeing, if you like thinking about or wanting ideas on how to maintain your fat loss, how to fuel your goals, fuel yourself for your goals, you might want to stick around. And I want you to stick around. If you like what you've seen, hit the like button down there. If you really like what you've seen, stick around. Hit the subscribe button. I know this emergency vehicle is not trying to interrupt me in my life. So if you're still with me and you haven't subscribed and you haven't hit that like button, please do. And if you have anything to say about my completely disheveled appearance and wild roller coaster of subjects that I go through in my video, drop a comment. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.